Hi again. This is now part 2. Hopefully we do not have to have part 3. It's my phone. Isn't it so pretty? I'm reading the questions over here so I can, do it. Maggie asked, when did I first know I wanted to become a writer? How did I start? Short story, did I jump in with both feet and start a novel? I've always written, and I've always enjoyed writing, but I kind of sidelined from it for a while because I wanted to be a singer, and a series of books kind of got me back into it, and I got a story idea and I started writing it, and it didn't really start out, it wasn't like a fan fiction thing at all, but I took some of the story's ideas and sort of incorporated it. Like, it had this snake boy who had scales and stuff, and so I used that in a story, and it was a completely different setting. But that got me into writing my elf story, which was a trilogy, or going to be a trilogy. And I wrote that. So I started right away into novels. I've pretty much always written novels, and I've always gotten ideas for novels. The first short story idea I got was actually from a dream, and that short story is actually what led into me writing the story that I'm writing now, because it was really, the short story was really dark, and it kind of, writing that showed me, I wrote the first book of the elf story, and when I was writing the second, it was more of a love story, and the first had been kind of like love story adventure, but this one, the second one, switched point of views to a different girl, and it was very love story-ish, and it was just really hard to do, and it took I was writing it for 2 years, and I wasn't making any progress on it at all. And in the midst of that, I found this other story that I had started years before, completely forgotten about. And so, I'd get on my computer in the morning, and I would open up the elf story document, the one I'm supposed to be working on, and I would sit there and stare at a blank screen for hours. I'm just I have nothing, and everything I write I think is stupid. And then I would pull up this other story, and I could not write fast enough to keep up with all the ideas that I had. But I'm really stubborn, and so I was I want to stay in one world at a time. That story has to go on the back burner. It has to wait until I'm done with the elf story. And so I wrote this short story from a dream, and that showed me, it was my heart is in this darker stuff. And so I made the switch from the elf story to the darker story. And that is what I'm working on now. And I've still been working on it, and it's been years, and my phone went black. Hang on. So that's pretty much how I started. And I think while I was in the midst of writing either the elf story or that very first one with the snake guy, it really was wow, this is what I'm supposed to do. So there's that. My mom asked what my favorite flavor of ice cream is. I already answered that. And how much ice cream would I say I eat in a week? Way too much. Also, can I answer all these questions using accents you know? Yes, I'm using my Ohioan accent for all of these remaining questions. Just got ice cream. I have ice cream right here. I'm not going to show it to you, though, because it's an embarrassingly large amount. I don't feel very good right now. So, mini ice cream make it better. Lisa asked if I could write a book and turn it into a motion picture. What would be my topic of choice? My story. That'd be fun. That would be that. And the topics, since it's a topic question, it deals with oppression and rebellion. And yeah. Angel asked me, how do I know my book is done? That's how you know when the story is done. How do you know when it's ready to submit to your editor? I usually get the idea for the ending early on when I'm getting a story idea, or when I have a story idea. And so I just kind of, I write in pieces, and it's like a puzzle. So I have the end over here, and then I have it, and I'll kind of write some of this, and then I'll write some at the end, and I'll just kind of bridge it. And my last bit of writing is always bridging parts to other parts. And so I pretty much have the ending set in mind. And for this story, I didn't, because I thought I was going to end a whole lot later. I thought book 1 was going to go through the whole rebellion and everything, and as I was writing, it's just like, it's way too long. It's going to be huge to do that, so we're going to cut it in half. So I did. Done as in ready to send to the editor? That's a good question, since Angel is my editor and I haven't sent her my story yet. I don't know. I'm trying to go through and catch everything that I know needs to be addressed before I send it to people. So, I think my husband just got home. So, really fast. Favorite books and movies in my genre: Lord of the Rings, Narnia. I like Pixar movies, which are not really my genre, but they can be fantasy stuff. Yeah. Themes that I explore in my books: oppression, rebellion, redemption is huge. Slavery, sex trafficking, murder. Yeah. Bond between sisters, relationships, forgiveness, love, like romantic love, and also like sacrificial love. And what inspired me to write about those themes, I don't know. They kind of like show up in all my books. Redemption, especially, is just kind of like the beat of my heart. So, yeah, that's kind of that. I'm waiting for him to come inside. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this, and I'll make another one to answer Beth's question. So, as for the themes, I really like those themes and things. I'm drawn to that. So, okay, bye.